trick is, okay, now the trick is, okay, now
What
the
the
trick
heck?
is, oh,
Nope. Not great. Okay. So, I'm actually going to I'm trying something new. So hopefully this is streaming live. I don't know for sure. It says so, but technology sometimes isn't your best friend. So I'm actually recording a podcast. So, hey everybody, welcome to the She's the Owner podcast. I'm your host, Kara McCarran, and this episode is going to be a really short, bite-sized one. Let me just change that setting as well. Okay. And let me know, I guess I just closed out of Facebook, so I'm not really paying attention to see if it's working over there, but hopefully it is. Just give me a thumbs up if you're watching and it sounds good. I'm not worrying too much about it. I'm not going to stress too much about it. That's one of the biggest, I think, important things that we don't talk about in the coaching space is like not everything has to be perfect, and we're human too, and business owners are going to do shit that's not going to work, and this might be one of them. But I'm really making an effort to like one recording shared more than just one place, so it's not just one dimensional. I'm able to, and actually while I'm saying that, maybe I'm going to go live on Instagram too, so give me a second. This will be an interesting podcast. Let's see. Live. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do. All right. Look at this. It's all over the place. Dang, that's not going to work. Okay. Okay, so the Instagram Live's not working. But okay, before everybody gets bored of my bullshit, I'm just gonna keep working at this here. So the power of consistency, right? Like that is the name of the game. And I don't know if you followed or you've seen or anything. I'm gonna talk about this again in this podcast because I think it's really important. But oftentimes, especially for the ladies, I find that consistency is a really tough thing for us because we have hormones, and we don't talk about hormones enough. We don't talk about the fact that it massively impacts how we run our business. It massively impacts how we run our lives. It massively impacts how we feel about our bodies, all of the things. And so if we're not talking about it, it's a problem. So a lot of times when I'm in certain parts of my hormonal cycle, right, it's broken into 4. Hey, Neil. It's broken into 4 parts. There are certain times when I could give a rat's ass about what I'm doing, or am I being consistent? Am I, showing up, all the things. And it's critical to, first of all, acknowledge that. Like as a woman who has her, monthly cycle, it's important to acknowledge it. This is part of our lives. We need to talk about it. We need to not be shy about it. And consistency becomes tricky in those moments. Like, for example, if you're PMSing, and you're about to get your period, blah, 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 you're not feeling like being consistent with working out. You're not feeling like being consistent with eating properly. Like all of those things tend to be more challenging at certain parts of the month. And I'm just coming out of that for myself. So now I'm, hormones are starting to regulate again, and soon I'll be ovulating. We all know what that means. Although if you're perimenopausal, it doesn't mean the same thing as it did when you were not perimenopausal. So for me, there's this thing where, and you can't, you're not in my office, you don't see, but I've shown pictures of, there's 9 images or sayings, and one of them is the fear of regret. And every so often I will get this moment of completely just panic and realize like, oh my God, I'm not being consistent, and I'm going to burn all this time, and I'm not actually going to do what I say I need to do or say I want to do. So that happened to me recently, about a week ago. I was laying in bed and I got up and I thought, holy shit, because I'm not being consistent with my routine. And my routine includes visualization, it includes meditation, it includes Writing in my journal about those things. It includes setting intentions, moving my body, and I'm not happy with that. Sorry if you hear construction, but I'm not happy with that at this point, but that's being added really soon to the mix. But for me, those three things, or call them four things with the intention in it, those are critical. Like, those are critical for my success. And I believe that's the secret sauce to anything. It's not how many funnels you can build. It's not what your fucking website looks like. It's not all the extra things that all those are important. Don't get me wrong. I'm a marketer. I will tell you till the cows come home, those things matter. But what matters more is your mindset. What matters more is, are you healing? What matters more is how you feel about showing up for yourself. Because when you show up for you, you show up for the people you want to impact. And so I'm here freaking out about, like, holy shit, I'm not doing the things that I know I need to do. I'm not being consistent. And then I'm wondering, why am I not getting the results I want? Because I'm not being consistent. It's that basic. Like, there's no secret to it. There's no, oh, I wonder why. It's because I'm not doing the things I know that I can do and that I talk about doing with my clients. I'm not doing them consistently. So in the middle of the night when I'm freaking out, I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do about it? Because the problem for me is that I end up burning. And if you can relate to this, again, like, I don't know how well this is streaming, etc., but if you can relate to this, like I will have these pockets of consistency. Like, I will do 2 of the 4 things, or I will do 3 of the 4 things. Like, it never feels like I'm doing all of them all at once, all of the time, for any extended period of time. So I might do them all for like a week. And today's the week. Like, this is a week from when I started this challenge. But I don't do them all the time. So it's like, okay, if I'm to see this through, and I'm to see my, the Love Soldiers Sedona trip, which is coming up, the goddess retreat. If I'm to see it through, then I need to continue to do the things I know that will make my energy such that I will do the stuff I need to do in order to make the event happen. So it's not like, I just want to be clear about this. It's not, I'm going to be consistent and then all of a sudden magically I can sit on my bum and do nothing. Now, some of the time that is the case. But for me, when I'm doing the stuff that I know I need to do, or that I want to do, or that help me, all of a sudden when I'm done that thing, then I get some type of inspired action that comes to my mind. Or I think, oh, I better, you know what, this is a prime example. What I'm doing right now is a prime example. Had I not done what I did this morning, which is set my intention, I did my visualization, I did my meditation, and then I did my journaling. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have had the inspired action to come on here to talk about it. Do you see? Like, it's not all of a sudden, unicorns and fairies are going to come jumping into my bank account, or jumping into my business, or jumping into my DMs. I still have to do something, but had I not been in the right frequency by setting up my morning the way that I did, I wouldn't have thought, hey, maybe I should do a live on Facebook, Instagram, and my podcast all at one time, talking about this shit to inspire other people. The thought may have not even entered my mind, but I was in the right frequency, and so it did. Do you understand? Do you feel what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm just going to sit here all day and be like, oh, think about how great it will be. Like, I'm in the frequency right now, and you can feel my energy. My energy is different than if I was like, oh my God, like, I'm freaking out. What if this doesn't work? What if, right? I'm in a totally different frequency, and I'm calling in different frequencies and vibrations. So I want you women, I want you to understand, and I'm excluding on purpose the men from this conversation in this way, except, I know Neil was popped on here. He's one of my best friends. He supports the shit out of me. We both support each other. He's helping men discover their masculine energy. I'm helping women discover their feminine energy. It's a beautiful friendship, but I'm speaking to the women. I want you to understand, like, if you go onto my Instagram page, obviously if you're watching this live on Instagram, you're there already, but if you're on Facebook watching this, on Instagram, I did a quick story about how I did things in a bit of a different order this morning. So normally I will get up and I will come straight to my office and I will do what I need to do. However, today, for some reason, I wanted to do a video. Actually, I know why. I wanted to do a video inside of one of the groups that I'm in like in one of my memberships, and I looked like shit. And the reason I'm saying that isn't because anyone cares or I even care, but I didn't feel good looking like shit this morning. I was like, you know what? I feel like getting ready. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go have a shower. I'll do my hair. I'll do my makeup. I have other filming to do. I'll just get ready. So that put me back to around 9:30. I was up at 6:30 and I did a few things, but it put me back. So then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'm starting to run out of time. Like I have to leave in about 5 minutes to go to a meeting in Kitchener. So I'm like, well, maybe I could just do this visualization tonight. I started right away. Ego was like, you can push that back. And I thought, fuck that noise. That's how it starts. That's how Kara falls off the wagon. So I said, absolutely not. But then I was talking on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do my stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then fucking 5 minutes later, I'm downstairs with Scott, my dog, going for his 10th piss of the morning. I just said his name and he looked up, I swear to God. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm dicking around. This is what happens. This is what happens, you guys. Because I'm like, well, he needs to go to the bath. He didn't really probably need to go because he'd been out a bunch of times already. But I was like, well, I'm going to go outside. And then all of a sudden it's 9:45. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, now I have to go. And I thought, holy crap, like this is the moment. Ladies, this is the moment where you have to make the decision to actually do the shit you say you're going to do versus not. You can say, I have to go make the kids lunch. I have to go do this. I have to go do that. Get up a half an hour earlier. Like, it's simple. And listen, women need sleep. We need it differently than men. So don't even worry about that. I get it. But like, it's those little micro shifts, the micro taking the Scott dog out for a pee when he didn't really need to. It's like all those little micro shifts. When you get a hold of it, and you figure out, holy shit, like this is what I'm actually doing in this moment. I'm actually just trying to find a way out. Those moments are the most powerful moments. And it's in that decision, that second of I could go do this, or I'm going to sit my ass down and do what I said I'm going to do. Those tiny little fractions of seconds. That's the difference between the life you want and the life you have. Because I'm proving it to you in real time. If you ask any of my clients that I've worked with over the years, I am 100% fully fucking transparent. Why? Because you're not going to listen to me if I don't know what you feel like, period. If you are a weight loss coach and you have never ever had an issue with weight, I will not listen to you because you cannot relate. So when I go through this stuff, I very intentionally want to bring it up so that you know that I know how you feel. And then this is what I did to overcome it, or this is what I did to not make that shit happen again. So what did I do? I marched my ass right back upstairs. I came right into my office. I didn't think about it. I put my beats on, pressed play on my Joe Dispenza meditation, and off I went. And look at me now. I'm on fire because I did the work. And even though when I'm writing in my journal, I'm writing and I'm thinking, holy shit. It's like, I used to smoke. I smoked for 15 years, maybe 8 years. But I've been quit for over 18 years, I think, maybe 19. I don't know. I've lost count. No, it'll be 20 years next year. The moments when I was quitting, in that decision, in that seconds of decision to light a cigarette or not, those are the moments you grow. Not, it's like second by second sometimes. Sometimes it's second by second. You have to get a hold of it. But those moments when you're like, meh, I'm going to do it another time, or, oh, I'll do it later. I almost did that this week. But the second that you make the decision that, no, I'm not going to delay it. I'm not going to put it like to some other thing. I'm going to actually put it into practice right now. As I'm writing, I'm like, holy shit, girl, you did it. You didn't fucking flake out. You did it. You actually did it. You did day 7. And big deal, right? Who cares? People are like, oh, big deal, day 7. Well, for me, that's a big deal to be this consistent. And in 30 days, I'm going to be like, holy shit, I did it. And I'm not crazy enough to think that I'm not going to have another moment of like, fuck it, I don't want to do it. I don't blah, blah, blah. But I built confidence today. You'll build confidence when you do it. Like I've got a few people, and it's so interesting to me because it wasn't an intentional challenge, But it's for me, right? Because I woke up in the middle of the night freaking out, going, oh my God, how am I going to handle this? Blah, blah, blah. So I just said, I'm going to publicly say I'm going to stick to my guns for a minimum of 30 days. And we're going to carry on after the 30, because by then it's a habit and it's not but I will still make a big production out of it, because that's part of what keeps me accountable, is knowing you're paying attention to if I'm doing it. Right? For whatever reason. When you're in aerobics class, if you're in there by yourself, you're working 80%. When you see a 79-year-old woman kicking your ass, bet your ass you go to 100%. It's the same thing. So consistency is key. If you want to do the challenge, just start. Just start. Tag me in your posts. Like, I've got people tagging me right now with their entry for their journal. I don't need to see what you wrote. I just want to see that you fucking did it. So here's the 4 things that we're doing on an every single day basis. I highly recommend you get it done in the morning. Set your intention. What's the intention of that morning's routine? Number 2, do a meditation. I love Master Co. I love Joe Dispenza. Number 3, I do a priming video with Tony. So that's my visualization of my goals being completed. And then I write in my journal. It doesn't have to be a book. It doesn't have to be, whatever. Write in your journal. Write as though it happened. Don't write, I can't wait till someday my business is doing well. This morning when I was writing about how beautiful it is to look around the living room of the home we've rented, because the house is crazy beautiful. And I was writing, I'm looking around and I'm so in awe of looking at all of these women in this living room ready to change their lives. I'm writing it's like it's happening, or it already has happened. Okay, that's it. That's it for the podcast. That's it for the live. And all the other things. I love you guys. If you have questions, please let me know. And I am off to my meeting. Bye.